Coco Chanel once said that a woman who cuts her hair is about to change her life, but what she never mentioned, that those low-rise pants might be ruining your image faster than a Hollywood divorce. When Meryl Streep played Miranda Priestly in The Devil Wears Prada, she wasn't just acting, she was revealing a universal truth. Your fashion choices speak before you ever open your mouth. That oversized blazer from the 90s? It's screaming, "I'm stuck in the past," while you're trying to impress at a work dinner. And those over-the-top leopard prints? They're like a flashing billboard announcing, "I have no idea who I am anymore." Which of these mistakes are you making right now? The third one on the list shocked even my most stylish Manhattan clients. If you believe elegance is a silent language everyone understands, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Because transforming your wardrobe is transforming how the world sees you. And I want to be right there with you every step of the way on this journey of rediscovery. The number one mistake is so common, even royalty has fallen into the trap. And the worst part? You probably have 5 versions of it hanging in your closet right now. Jeans with excessive sparkle and rips. Madonna debuted her iconic cone corset in the 90s and revolutionized fashion, but those jeans covered in rhinestones and massive rips sitting in your closet are doing quite the opposite. Sure, they grab attention, but for all the wrong reasons. What was supposed to be a promise of expressing personality through clothing has turned into an unintentional statement that you're still stuck in the material girl era. The result? Your look loses all the sophistication that the years should have brought you, but don't worry, there's a solution. Skinny jeans with mirrored rhinestones on the back pockets and down the sides scream desperation to look young. The overly tight fit highlights problem areas like cellulite and sagging skin, while all that sparkle draws negative attention to your hips and thighs. In contrast, a pair of straight-leg dark denim jeans that hit at the ankle, paired with an off-white silk blouse and caramel leather loafers, creates a balanced silhouette and delivers effortless elegance. Those ultra-shiny faux leather pants with a wet look finish and strategic knee rips, they're yelling, "Trying to relive my 25-year-old self," even when paired with more refined pieces. The cheap fabric reflects light unnaturally and exaggerates imperfections. A better option would be high-waisted, wide-leg black trousers in a flowing fabric that moves with your body. Add a lightweight knit top and nude pumps, and you've got a contemporary look that doesn't feel like you're competing with your daughter. Jane Fonda, at 87, proves that elegance doesn't have to mean boring. She shows up to interviews in dark, straight-cut jeans that flatter her figure without looking like she got into a fight with a wild cat. The difference? She understands that after 50, less truly is more. Those rhinestone-studded jeans aren't saying, "I'm fun and youthful." They're shouting, "I bought this at the mall in 2003 and can't let go." And those strategically torn knees? They're hinting that you might have stumbled on your way to maturity. Instead, choose structured denim in a medium or dark wash with a straight or slightly bootcut leg. The magic happens when you pair that classic piece with a silk blouse or a well-tailored blazer, and suddenly, you're not just dressed, you're put together. Want to know which small detail in your outfit could be aging you by 10 years instantly? Mistake number 2 will surprise you. Shapeless maxi dresses. When Diane Keaton revolutionized fashion in the 70s with her androgynous style in Annie Hall, she proved that oversized clothing can be stylish. But those shapeless maxi dresses you wear to hide imperfections are telling a very different story. That thin polyester fabric with chaotic prints drapes off your shoulders like a shower curtain. Instead of looking effortlessly charming, you end up looking like you walked out in your duvet cover. But don't worry, there's an elegant solution. An oversized caftan-style dress in sheer fabric with sequin detailing at the neckline, completely unstructured and overly wide in every direction, ends up making you look like a decorated tent. Instead, try a premium caramel-colored linen shirt dress with front buttons, 3/4 sleeves, and a slim belt in matching fabric that defines the waist. It offers the same comfort, but with intentional elegance, especially when paired with minimalist metallic-toned accessories. That long, stretched velvet dress with a high neckline, long sleeves, and a completely straight silhouette, often worn for evening events, makes any woman look like a velvet theater curtain, no matter how many jewels she piles on. A better alternative? A bias-cut silk midi dress in a deep aubergine shade, featuring an asymmetrical neckline and subtle draping at the waist. It honors your natural curves without clinging to problem areas, especially when paired with minimalist mid-heel sandals. Meryl Streep perfectly illustrates the difference between shapeless and fluid every time she steps onto a red carpet. Yes, she wears long dresses, but always with structure, a thin belt cinching the waist, a more fitted bodice before the skirt flows, or a strategic cut that subtly reveals her silhouette. Those tent dresses made from cheap jersey fabric aren't just hiding your body, they're hiding your personality. The pursuit of comfort has turned too many women into shapeless, faded figures drifting like colorful ghosts through the supermarket aisles. Opt for a wrap dress in viscose with a perfect drape, or an A-line dress with a defined waist. These styles honor your curves without constraining them and add graceful movement as you walk. The magic happens when you realize you don't have to choose between comfort and beauty. You can have both. Speaking of unfortunate choices, the next mistake on the list makes so many women look like office workers straight out of the 1980s. Flimsy fast fashion cardigans. When Audrey Hepburn casually draped a cardigan over her shoulders in Sabrina, she created a moment of timeless elegance. But that thin polyester cardigan you bought in 3 different colors on clearance is creating a very different effect. The look of someone who's given up on being interesting. The cheap synthetic fabric loses its shape after just 2 washes, so instead of looking casually sophisticated, you end up looking like you're wearing a stretched out version of your grandma's knitwear. Fortunately, there's a much more elegant alternative. Helen Mirren shows how the right layering piece can completely transform an outfit by choosing structured cashmere cardigans that follow her shape without clinging to it. The difference is in the investment, not just financially, but in understanding that some pieces are worth paying more for. Those flimsy cardigans that stretch out at the elbows and around the buttons don't just distort your outfit, they signal that you value quantity over quality. The urge to save a few bucks ends up turning you into a walking billboard for disposable fashion. Invest in a merino wool cardigan with wooden or metal buttons, or a knit blazer that holds its shape throughout the day. The transformation happens when you realize that one well-made piece can replace 5 inferior ones, and your entire look thanks you for it. If you think cheap cardigans are a problem, just wait until you find out how that belt that matches your shoes might secretly be sabotaging your whole outfit. T-shirts with big logos and funny phrases. When Julia Roberts charmed the world with her elegant simplicity in the 90s, she made casual look effortlessly chic, but that oversized tee with wine o'clock in glittery pink letters you wear to family get-togethers is making a very different impression, one of pity. The thin cotton blend fabric starts to warp after a few washes, so instead of looking relaxed and humorous, you look like you raided a teenager's closet circa 2015. But there's a far more sophisticated option. Carolyn Bessette Kennedy mastered the art of powerful simplicity with her crisp white Pima cotton t-shirts. They looked basic, but cost as much as a fancy dinner. The difference? A dense, impeccably finished cotton that draped perfectly without clinging or revealing every detail of your bra. Those tees with "Live, Laugh, Love" or "Boss Lady" printed across the front aren't just dating your look, they're turning you into a walking billboard for cheap motivational quotes. The attempt to be funny has left you branded as the cool aunt trying too hard in family photos. Instead, opt for a Supima cotton t-shirt with a classic straight cut or a satin finish modal tank. The transformation is immediate when you realize that the quiet elegance of a well-made piece speaks volumes, louder than any glittery slogan ever could. The next fashion misstep on the list makes even the most elegant women cringe, and yes, it's banned by more than one celebrity stylist. Oversized, quirky accessories. When Iris Apfel built her style empire in her 90s, she proved that bold accessories can be iconic. But that set of neon plastic flamingo earrings you picked up at the department store is sending a very different message. The artificial colors and cheap materials reflect light harshly on a mature face, so instead of looking eclectic and artistic like your muse, you end up looking like you raided your granddaughter's birthday party props. But there is a sophisticated balance to be found. That chunky gold chain necklace with a giant rhinestone-encrusted pineapple pendant draws the wrong kind of attention to your neckline, and frankly, it looks like something from a toy store. In contrast, a fine link gold necklace with a single minimalist geometric pendant frames the face elegantly and adds a touch of refined sophistication without competing with the natural lines of a mature figure. Catherine Deneuve is the perfect example of how minimalist accessories can amplify natural elegance. Her small pearl earrings or a single vintage brooch speak louder than 10 flashy statement pieces combined. Those stacked acrylic bangles in every color of the rainbow, they're not just clashing with your outfit, they're clashing with each other, creating a chaotic visual noise. What started as a desire to add fun to your look ends up making you resemble a Christmas tree in April, drawing attention for all the wrong reasons. Invest in a single high-quality silver bracelet or a timeless amber necklace with clean lines. The transformation is immediate when you realize one well-crafted piece has more impact than an entire collection of throwaway trinkets. Trend-obsessed pieces that don't suit you. When Victoria Beckham ditched fleeting trends to create her own minimalist line, she discovered her true style. But that sheer cropped top you bought because it was in the mall window display is telling a very different story. The synthetic fabric and unflattering cut draw attention to areas you'd rather not highlight. So instead of looking modern and fashion-forward, you end up looking like you're desperately clinging to your youth in outfits that don't match your stage in life, but there is a much more sophisticated way to stay current. Carolina Herrera built an empire on the idea that elegance isn't about following every trend, but about selecting the ones that genuinely enhance who you are. When a new trend emerges, she incorporates it subtly through a single accessory or detail, never compromising her signature style. Those ultra-low-rise cargo pants you're considering just because they're back in style? They're not just unflattering, they're making you look like a confused fashion victim who's lost her style compass. The desire to look in has turned you into a follower of trends rather than a master of your own style. Instead, invest in timeless, high-quality wardrobe staples and incorporate trends sparingly, a scarf in this season's color, or a handbag with a modern detail. The transformation happens when you realize that style isn't about what's in store windows, it's about what works for you. Elegance has no expiration date. Now that we've covered the 7 fashion mistakes that can instantly cheapen your look after 50, you're equipped with all the tools to elevate your presence to the next level. From rhinestone-studded jeans and shapeless tent dresses to pajama-like cardigans, we now know exactly what to avoid. The wardrobe we build over the years tells our story, and sometimes it needs a bold edit. As Sophia Loren once said, "Nothing makes a woman look older than trying to look too young," but fashion is just one piece of the elegant maturity puzzle. Have you ever considered how small beauty habits might be sabotaging your appearance just as much as those see-through leggings? In my next video, 50+ beauty mistakes that sabotage your look after 50, I'll reveal the beauty mistakes secretly adding years to your face and how to fix every one of them. If this video helped you spot some guilty items in your closet, leave a like and hit subscribe so we can continue our journey of timeless elegance together. Comment below. Elegance is a conscious choice if you're ready to ditch at least one of these 7 fashion mistakes this week. Because true elegance isn't in the clothes we wear, it's in the confidence with which we wear them. And nothing is more beautiful than a woman who knows herself deeply and dresses for who she truly is, not for who she was or who others expect her to be.